Okay, so we're going to try to do a little demonstration of how to make a hood fit. This is a C1 hood that we sent out, and the guy was in question of how it fits. He said it's fitting high on the left and the right hand side. So here's a car that we've already fit a hood to, and we like the fit of it. We've primered the car, so it's had the body work done to the car already. So now we put this hood on this car, and it's sitting low over on this side. First of all, we bolted the hood to the hinges. Don't just sit it on the car. And we also made sure that we had a flat gap across the back, which we have a flat gap across the back on both sides. So we know our gap is where we want it on the back. It's where we want to be. And coming down this side, it's looking good. Over on the other side, the hood's a little low over here. So we're low here and we're low here. You can see on this particular car, because every one of these cars are different. Not two of them are the same usually. So you have to body work these things. When you can look out and get a hood that sits on the car and fits perfect, they must have been twins is all I can say. You look across here and the hood's low. The hood is low, still low, and you come to this corner, it's a little high. And so we're going to adjust the hinge up from the radiator support and move this hood up to where we have a flush fit across there.
Stay back here for a minute?
Yep, just hang on. I'm almost done. Okay, go ahead and bring it back down. So I just unloosened the hood hinge bolts, snugged them a little bit so I could bring this hood to where I wanted it. They're still snug. We'll go back and tighten them up the rest of the way. So now with bringing it up to where we have a nice height there, all the way back. Now we're really nice right here in the middle and puts our two ends high. Naturally, there's a seam right here, a factory seam in here, so there's body work that can be done in here. On the hood we already fitted, we fitted it that way. So now if you come into the situation where you don't really want to do any body work out here, if you can't, if you're restricted, you're going to have to do it all to the hood. And so now with that said, we have our hood fitting where we want. If you come around with your camera, come right over my shoulder. And I'm going to take this little white marker. I'm going to mark this hood to where I want to bring it down. And I can tell you right now, with the difference in the height that's right here to here, I'd body work this area as well. Keep in mind, there's a seam there, so it's been body worked over its time. And so if the car's been painted on 2 or 3 or 4 times, who knows? None of us have a pedigree usually. It tells us everything that's been done to a car. And back in the day, when people weren't as precise as people are today, God knows what's been done to them. And so we take some off the front edge of this hood, and you're going to feather it back. You're going to feather it both ways. And then if you want to add some here to bring this up just maybe a little bit more, it's pretty close. But you want your roll to be a little bit more, so you're going to put some roll to it. So we're going to take the car off the hood, or take the hood off the car. You got to fix that. I don't screw up too often. Or maybe just leave it. Show that I am human. We're going to take the hood off the car, and we're going to literally come in here, and we're going to feather this thing back, something around this area. And when we build these, you notice the thickness that we have, okay? It's a lot easier to take some off than it is to add. And so we try to leave a little bit extra on everything that we build, but we can take some of that hump out of here. I'm gonna tell myself just to feather this thing right across here. And now if I need to put a little filler in there, I'm gonna put a little filler in there, and I'm gonna make this thing fit this car. So we'll come back to it after I've done my initial grinding down and feathering with the DA and a block. And we'll put it back on the car and show you what our fit is. You can see my mark with the white marker. That corner is a little bit high. I won't disagree with you. And now this corner is too, once we brought it up to fit. So I'm going to aggressively take some off of both these corners, then I'm going to feather both of these sides back so we can do a little body work on them. And since the last 4 years of our life has been COVID, you always got to have a mask with you. Mine's a little worn, but it works. We already know none of us are getting out of here alive, so you got to be a little preventive maintenance, but so you can see a little bit of a raise in here. Okay? Felt good, didn't it?
I just ripped the...
You see that little bit of a raise? That's what we're going to basically take out of here. And I don't know if it's how that raise got in there, but it's really no big thing. So we took our 5-inch grinder with 36 grit, basically knocked that little edge off of there. Came down to our white marker. So there's plenty of glass there. Now we're going to take our DA. Now you can see where we came down, where you just barely see that white line. I'm going to take a little block to the front edge and make sure there's no white line left of what was there. Because we're going to come back and mark it again if need be. And this is in real time too. So you can see we're not doing anything tricky here. It just doesn't take long to do it, but part of it might have to do, I've been doing this for a couple of weeks now. You practice like anything. In law and as a doctor, they say they have a practice because they're constantly practicing. They go on theory sometimes. We're constantly practicing, but we're going on what works. Paul, come back here and help me put this hood back on, would you please? Hey, can you come help me put this hood back on? Okay, I'm going to put my 2 bolts back in here. Just make sure everything is where I wanted it. What did I do with my stick? Give me a paint stick, would you? So now you come back over here and you can see what we got for the hood gap. Okay, on this particular car, how it's fitting. Hood's a little bit low now. You probably still just take a little bit more off of there. And this side is a little bit high still. I think you really should take a little bit more off of here and add a little bit here. But this car has already been body worked. The hood fits it perfect. So in this case, we're not going to. But this is what's involved. Take some off of here. I'm going to remark this. And I'm going to take a little bit more off. Just to show you that there's plenty here. You don't have to worry about taking too much off. And really, that's where I want it. This side now, I'd add some filler across here and bring this up to match this. Let's take our bolts back off again. And we're going to sit the hood back down there. I'm going to take just a little bit more off. I'm going to mark this off of the car so I can see it a little bit better, what I have. And I'm going to venture down in there just a little bit more. So part of what we do making the hoods the way we make them is we're finishing off the back side. And so we already make our hood thicker than the original hood because the back side is finished off. And so our lip here is a little bit taller than a factory lip. So you can come in here and take some off if you need to. It's easier to take off than it is to have to add. So if we're just taking a little bit off, we've gone through the gel coat to the mat. And I tell you the top side of these hoods are made 4.5 ounces of mat. So 4.5 ounces of mat is like a side panel. It's every bit of 1/8 of an inch thick. So you got plenty of mat there to hold it. And then keep in mind what's on the back side is mat. Okay, Paul.
Sit right there.
So you can see our gap now. Our hood's just a little bit low. We could bring the corner up some more. There's still room in those hinges to bring it up. Take a little bit more off. Or fill the front edge of that hood. I would say fill the front edge of that hood. And right now you're still a little bit high on this corner just by a tad. I'd fill in here. If the car's already painted, not a whole hell of a lot you can do. That's why I really suggest to people don't buy our hood or anyone else's hood if the car's painted. Every once in a while you luck out and one fits it. We'll show you at the end of this video another C1 that was all done, and the guy bought one of our hoods and set it on the car, and you'll see what his reaction was. It was kind of a luck out one there if you ask me. But that's how you fit it. Now you got to come in here and do some body work. Hopefully this helps you guys. Thanks for watching.